In 1971, President Nixon officially took the US off the gold standard. Before that, every dollar was backed by physical gold, meaning the government couldn't just create money out of thin air. But once gold was removed, the floodgates opened for inflation and massive government spending. Since that decision, the dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. A silver quarter from 1964 is worth about $5 to $7 today, while a paper quarter, it barely buys anything. Without the gold standard, the Federal Reserve gained the power to create unlimited money, and they've used it over and over again. In 2008, the Fed bailed out the big banks with quantitative easing, a fancy term for money printing. Then, in 2020, they cranked it up even higher, injecting trillions into the economy. The result? Inflation hit 40-year highs and the price of everything skyrocketed: gas, groceries, housing, you name it. The Fed also manipulates interest rates, keeping them artificially low to encourage borrowing. But cheap money creates bubbles, like the 2008 housing crash, where easy credit led to reckless lending and a total market meltdown. They did the same thing again after 2020, keeping rates near zero, which fueled another housing bubble. Now, rates are rising fast and banks are feeling the pressure. Here's the real problem. Since leaving the gold standard, the US has gone from $400 billion in debt to over $36 trillion today and rising. Without gold to keep spending in check, the government just borrows more and more, knowing the Fed can always print the difference. This is a debt spiral with no end in sight. And who pays the price? The public, through inflation, taxes, and a weaker dollar. So, how do we protect ourselves from this system? Simple, real money. Gold and silver have held their value for thousands of years, while fiat currencies always fail. Think about it. If $100 was put in a savings account in 1971, it would be worth less than $15 today in purchasing power. But if that same $100 had been put into silver, it would be worth over $3,000 today. This is why stacking is so important. Precious metals are a hedge against inflation, reckless government policies, and the destruction of our currency. While they keep printing paper, real wealth is in tangible assets that will always have value. Preserve your wealth. Check out msbrad.com today.